Space Intelligence Briefing. Confirmed facts, clearly labeled theories, no exceptions. A video with 2.7 million views says NASA found something impossible on Voyager 1. Most of that video is actually accurate, but it also says the sun's magnetic field and the galaxy's magnetic field are locked in an active exchange of energy right now. NASA never said that. What NASA actually found is stranger than that claim, and today we're going to show you exactly where the real data stops and the story starts. This is from a channel called Proof, 61,700 subscribers, and this video is their biggest hit by far, outperforming everything else they've published this year. Here's the scale we're talking about. Voyager 1 launched in 1977. In 2012, it crossed the heliopause, the boundary where the sun's influence ends and interstellar space begins. Right now, in 2026, it's roughly 25.8 billion kilometers from Earth. A single radio signal takes about 22.5 hours just to get there, and another 22.5 hours to come back. That's not a metaphor for distance. That's the actual round-trip cost of asking this spacecraft a single question. This is why we do verified versus viral. When a claim about a machine this far away, this old, and this hard to double-check goes viral, most people have no practical way to fact-check it themselves. So we trace it back to the source and show you exactly which part holds up. 3 real findings and 1 real crisis, fast. Since 2017, Voyager 1's plasma wave instrument has picked up a faint continuous hum in interstellar plasma, published by Stella Ocker's team at Cornell in Nature Astronomy in 2021. This wasn't a lucky one-time reading. It's been detected continuously across more than 900 million kilometers of interstellar space, the first steady measurement of interstellar plasma density humanity has ever collected, not a scattered snapshot triggered by a solar storm, but a running feed. At the heliopause itself, instruments measured temperatures between 30,000 and 50,000 Kelvin, nicknamed the Wall of Fire by the press. Real heat, genuinely surprising to the scientists who expected a cold, quiet transition zone. But the particles out there are so sparse that none of that heat could actually damage the spacecraft or burn anything in the normal sense. Then the magnetic field. Old models predicted the sun's magnetic field inside the heliosphere and the galaxy's magnetic field outside it would point in completely different, unrelated directions, 2 separate systems meeting at a clean boundary. What Voyager 1 measured and what Voyager 2 later confirmed independently was different. The field lines on both sides turned out to be roughly parallel, aligned. Nobody predicted that, and nobody has fully explained why yet. Here's something else worth knowing before we get to the claim in question, because it's part of why this spacecraft's data carries weight. In November 2023, Voyager 1 started sending back unreadable, corrupted data. The cause turned out to be a single failed memory chip in its flight data subsystem, one small piece of 1970s hardware, 15 billion miles away, with no way to physically replace it. NASA engineers spent 5 months diagnosing and fixing it entirely by remote command, each test cycle taking nearly 2 full days round trip, and got clean data flowing again by April 2024. That's the same spacecraft, the same instruments, that produced the 3 findings we just walked through. That's the real record, and that's exactly the point where the viral video takes one more step than the data supports. Let's go claim by claim. The persistent plasma emission since 2017 is real, peer-reviewed, published in a major journal. The 30,000 to 50,000 Kelvin reading at the heliopause is real, independently measured. The magnetic field alignment is real, confirmed independently by both Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. Here's what isn't. The viral video takes that alignment and calls it magnetic reconnection, an active process where the two fields are actively tearing apart, rejoining, and exchanging energy right now. That's a specific, named physical phenomenon, and it's a much bigger claim than the fields happen to line up. Nothing in the published research describes active reconnection happening at the heliopause. What was measured is alignment. What was claimed is an ongoing energy exchange. The video never draws that line for you, so it lets you believe the two are the same thing. The video also quotes researchers saying things like astonishing, baffling, we were wrong, without naming a single scientist or citing where those words came from. We looked. We couldn't trace them to anyone. And there's a date problem. The video states, down to the second, that Voyager 1 reaches exactly one light day from Earth on November 18th, 2026, at 2:16 and 12 seconds in the morning Pacific time. Other reporting on the same milestone puts it at November 15th, with no second-by-second precision claimed anywhere else. A 3-day gap on the same event means at least one of these numbers is wrong, and the video hands you the least supported version with the most confidence. Worth adding some real context here too, because it makes the exaggeration even less necessary. Voyager 1 is genuinely running out of power. Its 3 generators produced about 470 watts at launch and lose roughly 4 watts every year. 7 of its original 10 instruments have already been shut down to conserve what's left, most recently its low-energy charged particle instrument in April 2026. NASA is currently testing an emergency power procedure, internally called the Big Bang procedure, on Voyager 2 first, with an attempt on Voyager 1 planned no earlier than July 2026. That's a genuinely dramatic, ticking clock story. It didn't need an invented magnetic energy exchange stapled on top of it. One more thing worth naming. The title is NASA Just Confirmed Voyager 1 Found Something Impossible. 25 minutes long. Not once does it name something impossible. Every finding in it is unexpected, surprising, a correction to old models. None of it is impossible. That word isn't describing the video. It's just getting the click. Here's why this matters more than an obvious lie would. If you'd fact-checked the first 90% of that video before watching this, it would have held up. The plasma readings are real. The heat is real. The alignment is real. Even the power crisis and the failed chip are real. That's exactly what makes the last 10% so easy to swallow whole. You verify the parts you can, and you extend that same trust to the part you didn't check. This isn't a one-off pattern in this niche either. Across the space channels covering this exact topic right now, most of them share near-identical titles, near-identical scripts, and near-identical framing, borrowed from each other rather than traced back to a primary source. When one channel adds a dramatized claim, it tends to get copied downstream without anyone rechecking it against the original research. So ask yourself honestly, how many space videos have you watched this year where you checked one claim, found it true, and assumed the rest followed? That's not a knock on you. That's the entire mechanism this kind of content is built to use. One accurate layer, one dramatized layer stacked right on top, and nothing marking where one ends and the other begins. So here's the verdict. Voyager 1's plasma readings, the heat at the heliopause, the magnetic alignment, the power crisis, the 2023 chip failure, and its fix, all real. The claim that it's active magnetic reconnection, and the exact second Voyager crosses one light day, neither one held up when we traced it back. The real data didn't need the extra layer. A dying 49-year-old spacecraft still sending back readings from interstellar space was already strange enough without inventing anything on top of it. Next time, we're pulling apart another claim from this same corner of the internet, and this one involves a number that's been copied across 5 different channels without a single one of them checking where it came from. Confirmed where we could confirm it. Marked as open where we couldn't. That's the briefing. See you in the next one.